Ever since I was a jit, I knew I was a winner. I pray to God forgive me cause I'm a born sinner. Got more on my plate than a Thanksgiving dinner. Gotta save for rainy days cause shit do get thinner.
You know how we giving it up, man. It's your boy Jumpout L.O, and you tuned in to Check Your Mental. And today, I want to talk about having difficult conversations with your friends. I touched on the subject before, but I think I have to revisit, right? And the reason why I say this is because sometimes we're not straight up with people, and we wait till that person leaves to tell somebody else how you felt about the person that just left. Instead of having that conversation with the person that you have the issue with, we add another person to the situation when in reality there's no need to. We need to learn how to communicate with others respectfully. Every conversation doesn't need to be involved into an argument, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but collectively we could come into an agreement. Because one thing I refuse to do is hang around somebody and I feel some type of way about them and not tell them how I feel. I won't come around you. I feel like that's being phony or fake. If as soon as I leave, you talk about me, or as soon as you leave, I talk about you, instead of us having a conversation with each other. I feel like we're all grown adults that you should be able to have these uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable conversations, right? For a long time, I was the type of person that I'll just cut you off because I didn't want to have that difficult conversation. Like if it was something that you did that I didn't like, I just cut you off completely. I don't want to deal with that. I felt like I shouldn't have to deal with that. That's your problem and you got to deal with that. But how am I helping you? How am I being your friend if I do that? That's a disservice to you and me because number one, I'm not letting you know the things that you're doing wrong, so you're going to continue to do them. And I'm not problem solving, right? I'm not being a person of my word, and I'm doing you a disservice. I'm doing myself a disservice by not questioning or telling you the things that you're doing wrong. Then I'm gonna leave and be home and be mad because I didn't let you know how I felt. Then you have a whole issue that you created within yourself just because you didn't have that simple conversation. Me today, I have these conversations. I don't care how difficult they could get because they're needed, especially if you say you care about a person. If you truly care about a person, you should give them the courtesy of letting them know how you really feel. I feel like that's lame, that's whack, that's corny, that you're not able to tell a person how you truly feel. And in that person's mind, they're thinking that you're their friend. Ask yourself, would you like that? Would you like if somebody just constantly talking behind your back and not letting you know how they truly feel or how you could resolve certain issues? Communication is key, guys. And in today's era, it's like nobody can have a simple conversation without being argumentative or letting your ego get the best of you. I feel like as men, they don't show us how to resolve issues without becoming violent or becoming angry. Everything has to be an ego thing or a pride thing. One thing that I learned was, man, I'm not letting my ego and my pride get in the way of my blessings. Because sometimes you block your blessings by having this ego and this macho man that you allow all the good things that God has for you. You block them. You block them yourself because you want to be stubborn and you don't want to talk and you feel like your way is the only way. Where has your way gotten you? Right? What has your way gotten you? And you keep going through the same things and the same mistakes and things keep happening, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? What can I do to better this situation? And again, have these uncomfortable conversations. If there's something that your friend did that you didn't like, or there's a certain behavior that they're showing that you don't like, say something. Because if you don't say something to them, that might be their norm. That might be their norm to act like that. So they're going to continue to act that way because you never addressed it. And vice versa. How am I supposed to know when I'm doing something wrong if you're not telling me? I spoke something briefly about that last week in the last episode, but this is a little different, right? You have to address these things so a person could grow. If you don't address anything, everybody's going to feel like, man, I'm doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Everything is just fine and everything is just beautiful. Conversations are needed. Conversations are mandatory in order for us to grow as people. You know, there's already enough violence. There's already enough bad things happening amongst in the world that We could be that change. We could be the difference in the world just by us learning how to communicate with each other, because it starts at home, right? It starts with your inner circle. If you don't know how to communicate with your inner circle, how are you going to influence other people? How are you going to help other people if you can't even help the people around you? You got to get real with yourself. And that's the things that I have to get real with myself. Certain things I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate gossip. I don't tolerate talking about others. I don't tolerate these things. I have to stand for what I believe. I believe if we're friends, it's cool to joke around. It's cool to laugh and joke and giggle. But when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. Don't disrespect your friends. That's your friend. You shouldn't disrespect them, call them out their names, or just belittle them, right? You shouldn't belittle your friends, right? If that's somebody you love, why would you belittle that person? You don't know what that person is going through. You're supposed to uplift your brothers, not belittle them and make them feel small about anything. Even if they have a job at a certain place, you don't joke on the place that they work at just because you have a better job. You know the way God works, God would humble you. And God would take all of that away from you and strip you down to nothing. And you have to start from the ground up. Because when you joke about somebody, God will make you feel the same thing. That's one thing about God, y'all. He don't play. He do not play. And when you're loyal to him and you're loyal to the things that you're doing, you would see that God don't play about his children. So anybody that jokes on you, the joke comes back around on you. Then you're the laughing stock. So again, uplift your brothers. Don't down your brothers. Don't downplay your brothers. It's about unity and growth and strength, right? It's not about belittling each other and talking behind each other's backs. No, it's about us being able to be men and have conversations, because that's what a true friend is about. And that was the last episode, right? The definition of a true friend. This is a continuation to that, because I feel like it was more things that I had to say, right? Because why waste your time around people that you're not beneficial to them, and they're not beneficial to you? And I'm not saying that everything has to be monetary gains. Knowledge. It's about knowledge, exchanging knowledge. That's a new form of currency. It's how can we learn from each other? That's more valuable than money, because you might teach me something that could bring me more money than the money itself. You might teach me how to make some more money just by some knowledge that you share with me, right? So instead of talking bad about each other, instead of not being able to have these difficult conversations, let's uplift and share ideas and bounce ideas so we can become greater, so we can become better. Because that's what it's about, y'all. It's about growing. It's about elevating. It's about just moving as a unit, because it's strength in numbers. And I'm gonna end y'all with that, y'all. I'm gonna end y'all with that today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. I'm gonna keep saying that, because we're trying to grow and go all the way up this year. So you tuned in to Check Your Mental. This your boy Jumpout L.O.
People hate you when you speak the truth. They hate that shit. And shame on you if you mislead